Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our latest Animal Kingdom Season 5 review. And we've got a few intriguing things to set the stage for in this video. Is Darren, actually in big, legitimate, jaw-dropping, hide-yourself trouble?
Yeah, I think he might be.
There's some good high stakes here. This is
Yeah,
something that I think we've been wanting from this season a lot. High stakes and not just Pope wandering through various parts of the California desert.
we'll talk about the Pope stuff as well, but the Darren stuff is really heating up. The Craig stuff, I don't know. He's kind of on a bender. It's been sort of the same thing. The needle's not really moving on him, but there is some stuff that is starting to happen.
Okay, well, I guess Darren, since he is the person in the most danger, he is the best suitable starting off point here. And they kind of threw me through a loop with this. I wasn't sure they were going to come back to this at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the other guy working at the bar, at Darren's bar, kind of said, people are kind of getting concerned. Adrian went on a trip and he never came back. Kind of like, your dog has gone to the farm and never came back. It's true, though,
Yeah.
right? I'm sorry, Coco.
It's okay.
I am sorry. But that's kind of what people are thinking is happening. Of course, Darren knows that that's not the truth, but he can't really say anything because then he'll put him in danger.
Darren's in a very tricky spot here, ultimately, because he's got so many different secrets. He can only say so much to certain people, and beyond all that, I can't even begin to imagine the amount of stress that's on this guy just based on, okay, he's got his bar business, he's got his heartache, he's got Jay being a terrible family member and hiding huge secrets about the operation.
Yeah, and now he's got this DEA agent after him who has gone to Pete.
Yeah.
And Pete has basically been like, I don't have your product anymore. DEA showed up. It's gone. I'm not going down for you. So all that money is lost. But Jay now knows that there is an agent that is sniffing around Darren.
Okay, Jay, I gotta send a message your way here, because I know that you haven't always been on the same page with Darren. I know you guys have
Not
had plenty
this
of conflict.
season.
No, this is the time to step up, Jay. You got to clue in your fam here as to what's going on. You got to lend a helping hand.
Well, here's the thing is Jay's been kind of looking for an upper hand on Darren for a couple episodes now, and now he has something on that. But the other thing that I found to actually be the most interesting part of this is this other bar down the beach called Son of a Beach, down the beach. This guy shows up. He's, handsome. He's dangerous. He's like, you stole my bar order. He starts grabbing things out of the bar. Darren grabs him. There's something that feels like it's dangerous. Could it turn into something? But this guy down the beach is a plant. I feel it. I feel like this DEA guy was like, okay, we are going to just set all this up. We're going to get him in a relationship or get Darren talking. And then boom, they will find out about Adrian.
This guy sucks. I'm just going to come out there and say, guy down the bar sucks. I'm not a fan of this guy. I agree. I think this is totally a plant. I think this is all... They kind of tried to figure out possible archetypes for Darren, people Darren would sort of have an interest in. He's a dangerous guy, of course. Here comes kind of the dangerous, mysterious figure down the street at the other bar. They have a common interest in terms of the work. I just like, get out of here.
Yeah, and of course that rivalry sometimes, there's a thin line between love and hate. So,
All right, I've got a hot take here on Ren, but before I get there, if you guys do enjoy this video, hit that subscribe button. We are here every week talking about Animal Kingdom. We're breaking things down, and I want you guys to be a part of it.
Also follow us over on Instagram. It's Matt and Jess TV. We have lots of fun pictures over there. Pictures of our dog, pictures of the cat. We've been doing a lot of puzzles lately. We did one recently where we did one of the Joker and Batman, and I lost part of the Joker's face, so there's like one piece missing, which is kind of, right for the Joker.
Listen, puzzles, they don't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. You can have some stumbles along the way, but then realize things are actually really good in the end. Kind of like my feelings on the Ren storyline right now, which, hot take alert, I'm kind of liking it now, and I don't know if I have just been indoctrinated because we've had this character who I just hated for so long, but I kind of like that she's just going completely off the rails.
I've never disliked Ren. She just didn't always have enough to do. She was kind of like, oh, she's just the love interest. And now it's Craig has really kind of kicked her down a hole here. He's
Yeah.
taken, just because she's had his baby, now all of a sudden he's very controlling. You can't
Yeah.
do your business anymore. You can't have people here anymore. Now you have to be a real estate agent. He's trying to mold her into this mom figure to make sure that his son is protected
Yeah.
if something happens to him. But he's not kind of really looking at the whole picture, which is that Ren is a person too. They met because they're both sort of bad boys, bad girls, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I want to put her in a suit and go sell houses. I just don't know, like, who do you think she is? And you can't just fit her in this box, which is clearly what's happening.
Craig, I know you're watching. Why don't you go become a real estate agent? Like, this is the thing. I would rather, another hot take here, don't get mad at me, people. I would rather watch Ren at this point than Craig, because I'm just over Craig's whole machismo-ness in these scenes with her. And it's just like, you're up on some high horse when you're doing this criminal operation, and who's to say your criminal operation is even going to be more lucrative long-term than hers? Like, yeah, sure, you guys have a job every now and then that you probably make a ton of money on, but what if the jobs completely fall apart, Craig? Then what happens then from there?
Craig, you know who you're with. That's what I'm going to say. You can't fit her into a suit and be like, go sell houses. So she knows this about herself as well. She's asked to come on more heists. Craig has said no. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to go back to the business that I already knew, that I was good at, that I felt good at. There was an element of danger, but in all these seasons, we never really saw Ren in that much danger. She seems to be able to handle herself just fine. We saw, like, it's just whatever. But now she's gone back to say, listen to the Connect. I'm ready to get back into it. Now the Connect says everybody's moved on. Listen, your people are gone. You're kind of wishy-washy. I don't know.
I don't know why I enjoyed this, but I rather enjoyed her just like taking out that one idiot at one point in this episode. I was just thinking, you know what? They were being real jerks to you, Ren. I'm not actually that upset about this.
No, and good for you for just going back and trying to take your business back.
Yeah.
Craig long overstepped, and he's now also kind of on a midlife crisis of some sort. I mean, he is a new dad. He is with somebody who's danger and, bad girl, and he wants something else, or he thinks something else needs to fit together. Now he's throwing these parties where it's like, oh, it's not dangerous enough that everybody's BMXing off the roof into a pool of fire. We all got to go down to the pier and jump off the roofs there.
Craig, you are not a 24-year-old YouTuber, Craig. You don't need to be doing these sort of just ridiculous stunts.
Midlife crisis Craig is what is happening right now. The show doesn't really know what to do with him, so he's having a midlife crisis.
Craig, you can go. That's fine. This is what a weird. I feel like we're in the Animal Kingdom parallel universe where we spend like the first 9 minutes of this video like singing the praises of the intrigue of the Darren storyline and being and enjoying what's going on with Ren, and I feel like we're about to just go completely down a hole and complaining about the storyline with Pope, who is the character who we probably love the most.
I love Pope. I think he is one of the most fascinating characters on TV across the board.
Yeah.
This story is not doing it for me. It wasn't doing it for me last week. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I just do not care about this woman that he's rolling around with. I don't care that she can't get her kid. I'm not invested in her. There wasn't enough buildup for me to care enough about her that she's having trouble with her ex-husband getting her kid. And now it's like, we've got Pope, we saw at the end back there after she was like, get out, you don't understand. He's back. And I'm guessing he's kind of back to maybe prove to himself that he's not all bad, because that seems to be a lot of this journey for him. He doesn't want to be all bad. He has said straight out, his mother wanted him dead. His mother tried to kill him. His mother didn't want him. And now we have this mother who does want her son. And I think he's being drawn to it to sort of get something out of it for himself. It's not really helping her. It's more trying to figure out his own head.
I think there's probably truth in that, and that's why I'm still holding out to this tiny, tiny sliver of hope that this is going to be one of those storylines where once we get to the end of it, it will start to make a little bit more sense, and Pope can actually really get something out of this and evolve. It's just the way that it's being paced is the biggest problem. It's that we've spent 2 episodes on this already, and and like you said, I don't care about this woman. I don't care about, and I'm not trying to be, mean here. It's just like, I don't care about this kid. We don't know anything about these people. And so it's hard to be invested in Pope helping people we don't care about.
It's also difficult when you have a cast that works together really well. Yeah. And when you have all the scenes with all of them together, it's just magic on screen. 10 out of 10. Then you take the most fascinating character out of the group and you plop him into the desert with a woman that I don't care about. Yeah. And you take him away from the group for 2 full episodes. That dynamic starts to kind of break up a bit. It's just like for those Vikings fans out there, when you had everybody together in Kattegat, it was like magic. It was so cool and great to see all the characters together. And, it was just like pop, 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 pop on screen. And then, you throw Bjorn on the other side of the world and, Ivar's over here. And it's just kind of like, oh man, a little bit of that magic is gone because it's scattered. I understand they can't be all together all the time, but Pope has been kind of missing from the group for the whole season. He's just not there in his head.
I missed him on the heist, and I know the heist was still really fun, but I missed him being a part of that. And in turn, we're sort of getting these scenes where we're supposed to go into wonder, is Pope going to, take his own life? Is Pope going to be killed? It's just sort of like, they're not, I could be wrong. I don't think they're killing off Pope. They've already killed off Smurf. They've already, we've already lost so many other big characters on this show. I can't imagine them being like, we don't need another lead. We'll just get rid of another one this season.
Yeah, and especially if he does do something like that. I mean, Smurf's death didn't really seem to affect the other boys that much really at all. It was all more about business, and the other things that are going on. Pope is really the person that's affected by it. And Pope has always been sort of on the fringe of the brothers and Jay. So if Pope does do something like that, are the brothers then gonna finally care? I'm just not sure. They care about him and they love him, but it's just been real weird that Pope seems to be the only person that cares that his mother is dead. And I understand she's not Mother of the Year, but she's still their mother.
Let's talk about this mother for a little bit as we venture into our This Week in Smurf flashbacks, everybody's favorite part of the show. I can sense that you're just raring to go with excitement to talk about the Smurf flashbacks.
I will say that I loved the stuff with Billy. Whoever that actor is that is playing Billy, the minute that he opened his mouth and started speaking, I was like, oh, this is for sure Billy. He studied Dennis Leary like nobody's business. Yeah. His mannerisms, the inflections in his voice, he was perfect. I don't know who you are, actor, but you were perfect. You got every single thing exactly bang on 10 out of 10.
I will also...
He was so good.
I will praise that. He was a very good younger version of this character who we've seen on the show before. And I still don't feel like I'm getting anything out of these, but I will say that if you're going to focus time on giving us something good from a younger Billy, and we've talked about our love of young Pope before, and we have little things in here that I think are enjoyable and are interesting, but it just feels like to me, other than, getting some Billy and other than, okay, here's a high stakes, the kids are missing situation. We can bring back Pamela in the past.
Yes, that at least connected to the present where we saw that Andrew called Pamela. Pamela came back. perfect. If you're gonna have these past flashbacks, for me, I need them to tie into the present. There has to be a reason for them.
Yeah.
They have to move into the present of what is happening now. It can't just be a completely different origin story, or you guys just need to give me the spin-off that I am asking for. Because it is good material. It just isn't connecting to what is going on all the time.
Yeah, I would love to watch Billy over on an Animal Kingdom prequel series where you get more time to actually see Billy and see Smurf and see all of this.
I think a spin-off series would be so good. I mean, all of these actors are great and they're all coming together in really fun, good stories, but it's not connecting. It feels like I'm watching two different shows.
Yeah, and that is the problem. And because we're jumping back and forth, it's like we're channel surfing, like back in the day when people did this. We're just going back and forth between them.
It's kind of like if we were watching Power, the first series before all the spin-offs, and they were cutting in this third book of Raising Kanan, where Kanan is, how old he is, 46 or whatever in the new one, but he's 15 in the old one, and they're cutting them back and forth, and they're both really good, and they're both telling really good stories, but they are not connecting right now. It wouldn't make sense to cross it over. It's its own thing, and it's so good.
Listen, TNT, we're trying to help you guys here. We're coming with good, bold strategies for your network.
Spin off, spin off, spin off.
We fully are on the same page with this. So with that in mind, let's ask you guys, are you on the same page as us? Do we just need two different shows? Are you enjoying Ren more than Craig at the moment? Please don't come for me. Let us know in the comments. And subscribe to the channel for more updates. Hit that like button. We'll see you here next time.